We are live. Good evening. Welcome to the Not So Perfect Bigfoot Show. Tonight I have a special guest, Sidney Krider, and her cat, Bing. Sydney is from Indiana, and she has some Bigfoot on her property. Sydney, would you like to tell everyone listening a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Sidney Krider. I live in Indiana, and I had Bigfoot on my land since I was 9 years old.
So, and you're how old now?
25.
You're supposed to never ask a lady their age, but I did. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I think it's funny because people think I'm 18 or 12 because I have a baby face, and they're like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 25.
Well, you're a very beautiful 25. And
Thank
you said
you.
you had them on your property since 9 years old.
Yes.
So, what kind of activity did you have at 9?
I started noticing that I would get like a weird smell, like a weird rotting, like wet smell. And then my uncle told me when I was 5 that he seen some weird things on the land too. And he looked up the history. The land used to be on Native American land. And I am part Native American. My dad is, my whole family is part Native American. And I seen my first sighting when I was 17, the footprints, and then it skipped a year, and then when I was 19, they finally revealed themselves to me, and it was crazy.
I bet it was. Well, so when you were 17, you said you heard some knocks
Yeah.
and you went outside the next day. What did the knocks sound like?
It sounded like two baseball bats hitting a tree.
Wow, did that scare you?
Yeah.
So you went out the next day and you found a footprint.
Yes.
Was that the one in the picture you showed me?
Yes.
Well, that was pretty deep in the sand.
Mhm.
That was a good footprint.
Thank you.
And did you have any other activity before they revealed themselves?
Um. Yes, I seen I heard screams coming from the ditch, and then I heard screams coming. We have woods on our left, and then we have woods on our right of the pond, and I've been hearing some noises from there, and then my dad saw a 8 foot tall Bigfoot around the tree, poking its head out like this,
That
looking at
was
my
right in
dad.
your backyard,
Yep.
and your dad told you about it.
Mhm.
How long ago has that been?
Since 2020.
So, for everyone that says Bigfoot is not real, what would you say to them?
You might want to start studying because they're real. I've seen them, and they know that I'm here on this land, and they don't bother me as long as I don't bother them. But they obviously know that I believe in them now, so yeah, they're real.
Yeah. So, you said they revealed themselves to you. How did that go? You see Swamp Kitty crashing the show, right?
Hi, Swamp Kitty. You cute little thing.
Yeah, yeah, she said hello. So you said they revealed themselves.
Yeah.
How did they do that?
They came out, and Storm has brown hair, and Wendy has like a reddish tint to her hair.
So you have names for them.
Yes, they gave me their names.
So when they give you their names, is that like mind speak or do they have
Yeah,
their own language?
mind speak.
So that's pretty interesting. So
Mhm.
when you first heard mind speak, how did you feel about that? Did you think
It
it was
scared me
strange?
because I didn't know what was going on, and I had a headache at the time. So every time I get a headache, I know. Well, every other time I know that they're talking to me because I get like a warm feeling, and then I'm either out of it.
Oh wow. So did they ever leave you gifts?
Yeah, they left me 2 deer legs, part of the deer bone. They left me a feather. They left me fish. They left me a deer antler. They left me a lot of gifts.
A lot of gifts. How many do you have?
I'll show you the deer antler. I have it still.
I would like to see that. Thank you. What does your family think about you getting gifts from them?
My dad loves it. This is the deer antler.
Wow, and that was left outside where you could find it?
Yep, down by the pond.
So you guys have a pond. Do you have blackberries around the pond?
Um, yes, we have blackberries and we have fish, and they eat fish, so that's a good resource for them to eat. And deer. Deer come down there a lot during the day.
So basically, when they take a deer down, they come and feed you.
Yeah.
Do you ever gift them?
Yep, I gift them donuts, I gift them corn, I gift them tomatoes, I gift them a whole bunch of apples, and they like apples.
Well, that's very nice. You sent me a picture with them in the cornfield. Is that where they like to hang out and when you start to grow the corn?
That one was bad. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk. That one did not want me to know it was there, and it was a bad one.
It was a bad one. So do you get
Mhm.
that feeling, or do they give you a
I got a deep feeling, and they said that if I moved, they would end my life.
oh goodness. And
I
you
don't
talked to your
know.
dad.
My dad thought it was a Dogman because Dogman's around here too. I haven't seen it, but my dad has, and I've seen. I don't know what I saw, but it had red eyes and the teeth were like sticking out of its mouth. So I don't know what I saw.
You want to tell us about that night? Was that at night or during the day?
Night.
Was
So
it,
I was on the boat with my dad. Me and my dad were we were night fishing down at the pond, and I saw a like a black dog type of thing, but it was bigger than a dog, and it could stand up on its 2 feet, and it howled like a wolf did, but it was more deeper, and I seen its red eyes, and it had a deer sticking out of its mouth.
so your daddy, what did he say at the time?
He was terrified.
Yeah, did you tell him you were coming on the show today to talk about it?
Yeah, he knows. I said I'm about to be interviewed. Don't come in my room. I'll be out there in a little bit with the other dogs. But yeah.
So you both seen Dogman together. That's a pretty scary experience because I've seen one. But the one I saw was not like you see in the posters. It was not as gruesome, but it was still big, and it had really big arms, and it had a rabbit in its mouth. And
Whoa.
yeah, but I really didn't have time to be afraid because it happened so fast. But I imagine being on the boat, it was on the shore. How long did you get to see it?
I saw it for like 10 seconds.
So you guys live in a wooded area or out in the country? Not
Out in the country.
when you were talking about the history of your land and how it belonged to your ancestors. What did you find out about your land?
That the Yellow Creek Indians used to have land there, and they have I don't know much about it, but I do know that there's a girl buried on the land. She's Native American, and she's about maybe 5 or 6 because I seen her in the weeds one time, and uh you can tell that she has like an old dress on, and she's 5.
So did that scare you, or do you feel like she's just part of the land?
I feel like she's part of the land.
So when you see the dog man and the Bigfoot on your land, do you think they're attracted to the energy, or do you think that they've always been with the land and they've been there for generations and generations?
I think it's that too, the generation and the energy.
And the energy.
Yeah.
So you and your dad, Is it just you and your dad?
No, my mom.
So you guys have learned to live with what's abnormal for the typical people. It's
Yeah, there's days where it gets scary to the point where I just stay inside because I can't deal with all the energy that hits me at once, and then and then um and then the other day I went down to the pond and I noticed that the Bigfoot's nest, they have to rebuild it because it got destroyed. I don't know if a deer went through it or one of the neighbors went through it. I don't know, but they're having a baby, so
but you said you showed me that it's almost like a teepee, but it's grass.
yes.
How tall is it?
It's probably maybe, I don't know. I'll have to go down and measure it, but my dad's walking to get the mail. But I'll have to measure it because I can't get in there. They don't want me in there because I tried to get in there and I had a weird feeling, so I went back up to the house.
You said it had an odor about it.
Yeah, and
It
it
was
burnt
what
my nose. It didn't burn my nose, but it kind of, yeah.
really bad odor.
Yeah.
So, what would you tell people about Bigfoot that you think that people don't know? What would you tell the world that if you could give them one message about Bigfoot that you don't agree with what you hear about them?
I would say that as long as you don't have a gun, they won't be aggressive. But if you do have a gun, then they take defense to that, and they are real because my dad's seen them, I've seen them, and I have friends that have seen some weird stuff around their land, and they're real. They're 100% real, and they're not fake.
So, for people that have them on their land, what would you recommend that they do to live in peace with them?
I would say, give them time to adjust to you and don't run down there. Do not run if you see one. Just walk away silently and tell them thank you for being on the land and thank you. And yeah,
So, when you got your first gift, how did that make you feel?
it made me feel happy.
Which was that, the feather or the deer legs or the antler that you got first?
It was, I don't have it anymore because I moved around a lot. My room's a mess, but it was like an old rock.
An old rock. I heard they like rocks.
Yeah,
Have you
they
heard that?
do.
Are they partial to a particular color?
Mine was red. I had never seen a red rock around my land before. It just showed up out of nowhere.
Do you get a lot of tree breaks? And
Yep.
so when you were 9 years old, you already knew they were there, but that's because your daddy told you about the history of the land, but you didn't see your first one
Yeah.
till you were 17.
Yes.
So you recently went on a date. Did you tell your date that you had Bigfoot on your property?
Yes, he believes in that too because he's seen some stuff on a um he is he is 89% Miami Indian and he's seen some weird stuff and um yeah, he there's a hiking trail down in Wabash, Indiana, and it goes through like a woods, and he's seen some weird things in there too.
So if he believes, he's a keeper.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I had a friend that knew he was going to marry somebody one time, and he had to tell his wife about him going out looking for Bigfoot because he grew up on the farm where they had them, and he was sitting across the table, and he told her, he says, "I got something to tell you." And she was thinking, "Oh no, you're an axe murderer or what?" He says, "I like to go in the woods looking for Bigfoot." And she goes, "Is that all?" Yeah, so she says if he believes that's enough for him.
Yeah.
So how do your animals react to when they come around?
They act normal until if they get really close, then they start smelling the air and then they start guarding me and they get all kind of vicious. But we just got a new puppy. My dad's dog got killed over summer break. He got ran over by a truck. But
Oh,
our our puppy that we got from the animal shelter, he just sits there and looks around.
well, rescue puppies are the best puppies to have.
Yeah, I love my puppy. He's a good boy.
What kind is he?
He is a mountain cavalier mixed with pit bull.
Wow, that's gonna be a big dog.
He is
Big
getting
dog.
big, but he's tiny. We also have a Doberman and a boxer.
I know I love Dobermans, and boxers are kind of goofy. They get and they get along good with the cat.
Yes, they all the cats sleep with them. Beans, um, we got Bean 2 years ago. My sister-in-law is a vet assistant, a vet, either a vet assistant or a vet tech at a vet, and she came in, and we think that she got separated from her mama early because she does like the nesting thing,
The
and she
nesting, yeah.
and the sucking, which is weird, but we love her.
So when you and your daddy seen the dog man, how long was it before you guys went fishing again?
2 years later.
2 years later.
Yeah.
I bet really fast back to the land, or did he wait a while before he went back on the land? Did you guys
I'm
stay in
not
the
really.
boat?
I think the Bigfoot might have pushed him out.
You think they pushed the dog men out?
Yeah.
Do you think Bigfoot and dog men get along, or do you think they
No.
now why do you think that?
Because I heard stories about different dogmen. Some of them are good. Some of them are really bad. And then I heard that the Bigfoot don't like them because they destroy, like their land, like the land, and yeah, not good.
So you think the dog men are mischievous and kind of
Yes.
like Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know how many Bigfoot you have on your property?
I have Storm, Windy, and Flower.
So did you give them their names, or did you? Well, I think you said they told you their
Yeah.
names. So you got all girls, or do you think there's boys out there, but the girls just show themselves?
Storm is the dad, Windy is the mom, and Flower is the little. Flower is maybe 8 foot tall or 9 foot tall.
And you said that Wendy, the mom, is about to
Mhm.
have a baby.
Yes.
Now you see her little belly poking out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what have you found out about them that maybe someone like me wouldn't know that? I don't have the opportunity to have them on my land or to really study their behavior. I've had a few experiences, but what's life like? What have you learned about them?
I learned about them that they have like like little powwows. For like me. They have like where they go in and then they sit down and they either have powwows or they're eating. It's like a meeting thing with like I don't know if there's other Bigfoots in there, but I can't go in there when they're having meetings. But when they do, they tell me afterwards, and then yeah, they show me things and yeah.
So you're kind of intuitive and you can pick up on a lot of things with them.
Yeah.
Were you like that before you knew you had a Bigfoot clan on your property?
Mm-mm.
How does your dad and your mom feel about you being so intuitive toward them?
My dad thinks it's cool. My mom doesn't believe in them, but she has heard some tree knocks here and there. But my dad thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
try to tell my mom that I see things occasionally, but she doesn't believe me. She's like, "Oh, it's just probably your mind, or oh, you're tired." I'm like, "No, I see things that you cannot see, but they show themselves to me, and I'm able to see them."
So your dad's had his own experience, and your mom's she's never seen one.
Mm-mm.
Okay. That makes sense because sometimes seeing's believing.
Yeah.
And I understand that. And because there's a lot of people that actually see them and their minds play tricks on them, and they talk themselves out of seeing or believing what they've seen,
Mhm.
like their mind says that can't be real because it's not normal. And a lot of people, even though they see one, it's like their mind rejects it, kind of protects them. But
Yeah.
you've been very accepting of what you've seen, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about uh, just your property and your life and what your family's like and what a typical day is when you're out there with them.
Typical day is I get home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon from work, and then I eat a snack before I go out because I don't know how long I'll be out there. I walk down and I'm quiet. I just walk down there by myself, and if I'm scared, I go back up, or if I'm scared, I will go back up quietly. But I go down there and I just wait and I feel, and when they tell me that's when they're ready for me to come in, then I go in.
Oh, okay. So you just enjoy the sunshine and you're out with them and you just,
Yeah.
does your daddy ever go out and talk to them?
No.
No, he just don't want nothing to do with it.
Nope, he leaves them alone. He
Okay.
had a scary encounter. We have a tree down by our pond, and there was 6 green eyes that were bigger than that were. There was a tall one, maybe about 10 feet up, and then where my hand was, that's how tall it was. And then we had one on the tall one. I think it was 8 foot tall. Yeah, 8 foot tall one. And then my dad thought it was like maybe an alien or something.
Yeah. I've
I'm
met
like,
a few people that seen the little gray men. There's one in North Carolina where I'm from that's pretty famous incident where they seen the little gray men. And he still has been probably 20 years, and he still stands by his story, what he saw. And I really,
I'm scared of those things. I don't mess with aliens. I don't mess with the I can't say the word, but I don't mess with those creepy crawlers or nothing.
like the skin.
I don't mess
Okay,
with those. Those scare
yeah, I know.
me.
I don't think I'd want to come across any either. But when you
Mm,
seen the dog man, other than them having like a snout or a dog's face, how are they different than a Bigfoot, in your opinion?
I think they're more stronger and they have a stronger bite force than a Bigfoot, and their teeth are more pointy than like Storm's teeth look like human teeth, but he does have one pointed tooth. But I think the Dogman is more scarier than anything.
Do you think dogmen are more likely to stay away from people than Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Do you think the dogman's still on your property?
Yeah, sometimes I do and then sometimes I don't because I hear a weird howl and it doesn't sound like a dog or a wolf or a coyote because I seen a coyote before, and yeah, sometimes I hear it in the winter and then sometimes I don't, and then sometimes in the summer I hear it and then I just stay inside. I don't want nothing to do with it. It scares me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So, why did you decide that you wanted to come on this show and tell your story?
Because I've been on other shows before, and I think it's cool to spread the word about Bigfoot and get it out there for people's information, and then have like experiences with them and seen other weird things.
Well, how about that you take a few moments and you just tell the audience about Bigfoot, and you take your time and say all you want to say to them. I'm going to give you the floor.
Okay, girl. Yes, guys, Bigfoot is 100% real, and I know some people think I'm crazy for believing them, but I I had experience since I was 9. So as my dad, and they're 100% real, believe them or not. But if they show up at your door, don't hide, just be like, hi, you hi. I'm kind to them, and the dogs are going crazy. That
It's
means,
okay. It's okay.
yep, they're going crazy.
That's okay. We have cats that take the cameras out, cuckoo clocks that go off. Dogs are part of our lives. They keep rolling with it, little lady.
They are 100% real. As long as you don't have nothing threatening, then they won't hurt you. And you leave them alone. As long as you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. If you don't, then you might have a dead deer on your a porch, or like a cat missing or something.
Oh, don't say that about the cats. Oh no.
Sorry.
Swamp. I had to cover Swamp Kitty's ears. Well,
Sorry.
well, that is the circle of life. I understand that. You say if they get mad at you, they'll throw a deer on your porch.
They can actually hurt you, but as long as you're good and you don't hurt them, then they won't bother you.
Do you think, like when I go in the woods, I carry a gun, and I carry a gun not for Bigfoot, but for crazy people. People are crazy. Do you think they know the difference? Do you think they can read
Yes.
your body?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, because mine's just for those crazy people. Because I'm tell you what, there's some crazy people out there that have bad will and bad intention.
Yeah.
And if the sister goes down, the sister gonna go down with her boots on. I promise you. So as long as they know the difference, because I know I've had um, my firearm on my side, and I've caught them on videotapes, and caught that stench, and it was really weird because that stench just come nose level. It was gone. It weren't lingering. It was just like they're gone, and I was like, but there was total silence in the swamp except for a crow, and the crow told us everywhere that they were. Have you ever heard them like run around with other animals, or do you? Because I
Yeah.
think
I
they
heard
sometimes.
I heard about that. Yeah, it's cool.
I got a friend coming on the show named Dan, and he had some reports that they run with coyotes sometimes, and it's all speculation. We don't know. We really don't know. But he's got one eyewitness that walked outside, and there was this big, hairy Bigfoot with his hand on a cow, just standing there with the cows, weren't hurting them, weren't, looking for supper. He was just hanging out with the cows. And he had one encounter where a lady was fixing to take out a coyote, and she heard a whistle come from the woods, and the coyote turned around and went back to the whistle. So I think they do form bonds with animals, just like
Mhm.
we would. Do you think they're people? Do you think they're tribal?
I think they're people,
I do too. I
because um I heard one over summer trying to mimic a cow, and it sounded just like a cow, but it didn't sound like a normal cow. We don't have
yeah,
cows around here, but they try to mimic. One time I did hear a whistle. It was about maybe 5 p.m. I went, and they went, shh. They try to copy me back.
how'd you like that?
It was cool.
Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, I don't hear much whistling, but I do sometimes, and I'm thinking, oh, hello, how are you? And good night, and yeah.
So when they're eating and they have the powwows, as you say, how do you know that you're not welcome there? Or
Because I get like a strong odor, and I get like a bad feeling in my stomach, and then I go straight up to the house because I don't want to get hurt.
okay, well that's a good intuition. That's really good intuition. I do think that they form bonds. I do think they watch people. I do think that I think they'll take your chickens if you're not careful with your chickens. But I do know people that have learned to live with them on the property and have learned to cohabitate. I have a friend in Tennessee that he's got a dog man and a Bigfoot on his property. And say hey to Swamp Kitty. Hey.
Oh, look at her. Hi, baby. You're
She
cute.
wants to crack. She wants to crack the show, but I got bad kitty spray. Okay, but so I do know that they do. I really believe that they do form bonds with animals and people, and I think they grieve like we do. And I think that the one thing I don't know is how they survive in a cold, cold, cold winter
Yeah.
because those little stick structures, even going in caves, would have to be cold. And I know we adapt over time and we grow more hair or we put more fat on us. I just that I don't understand. Bless you. And I heard they don't do fires. So, but I don't know. I've never seen one do a fire.
My dad told me that they're curious about fires because one of his friends told him a story one time that he seen a Bigfoot, sneaking up, and then he was camping, and the fire just went out, and then he heard the Bigfoot stomping by, and I don't know if they put the fire out or they just wanted to, or they're like, "Ooh, fire," and then they got burned. I don't know.
Oh goodness. Did that happen recently?
Um, it happened maybe when I was 10 or something like that.
Wow.
Hmm.
So your dad knows a lot of people that had a lot of experiences too.
Yes.
Is that why you're not so kind of weary to have them around? Because you know your dad kind of understands that part of your life, and
Yeah.
does it help to have someone around that believes and that you can talk to?
Yeah. My grandma knows about them too, but she's never seen one, but I told her my stories and she believes them.
Yeah, that makes a difference, don't it?
Yeah.
Do most people not believe, or do most people believe that? Because I know with just anybody, when you tell them, they're just they think you're crazy, you know. And so you have all these people out there that's had an experience, and they have no one to talk to.
My
There's no one.
uncle moved to a different property, and during the winter, I think of last year, he found a hog's head hanging up on a tree.
Wow, and the body was gone.
Yep.
Wow, full grown hog.
Yep,
That's a
and the
lot of
head.
weight. Wow.
Mhm.
Well, I know for a fact they like pork. I spoke with someone in North Carolina where I live when he witnessed a dogman type creature pull a pig straight out the pig pen, and not only that, they were cooking some pork for the community, and they took the pig off the grill. And I said, so I think Bigfoot likes Carolina barbecue.
I never been to Carolina. I want to go down there. I heard it's really pretty.
If you ever come to Carolina, you are so welcome. We'll take you to Uwharrie, and we'll take you out on the river in Robeson County. Is the most beautiful place you ever seen. You got the trees that just hang over the river, and I tell people it looks like somebody poured some iced tea, and it all fell into Robeson County. And you know we've got alligators, beavers, otters, and it's they do a lot of studies on the Lumber River. It's very beautiful. It's home of the Lumbee Indian, and
Whoa.
it is so beautiful there. It's very beautiful, and it's got a little bit of a bad reputation for the violence, but who doesn't have that in this
Yeah,
world? But the people are good people, and they'll do anything to help you out. And I can say they really do take care of their land.
that's good. I take care of my land. I do like a walking perimeter. I make sure that everything's okay. I make sure that when I'm home by myself, that if anything happens, the dog will take care of it. I do have a bow and arrow in my room to keep me safe in case anybody tries to bust in, but that's it.
Yeah, well, every little bit counts. Do you think that when people go out into the woods and they look for Bigfoot, do you think that when, and I'm guilty of it, that we kind of invade their homes and invade their life, and there's a lot of people that go out there that don't pick up after themselves, and they leave the land in a bad shape. And I was always taught that you leave it better than what you found it. Do you think that makes them angry when people don't go in and take care of
Yeah,
the land? I imagine so.
yeah.
Now, when you say you leave them donuts, what's their gift of choice that they seem to like?
Flower likes anything sugary. Storm likes apples. Windy likes anything. Flower's more picky because she's starting to grow more and she's more picky about what she eats. Like me, I'm picky eater. So
Mm. I eat anything. I'm like a old hog. I just snorted on love. Ask my husband. He looks at me sometimes like, "Oh my God, woman." I think since we got married, I gained like 20 pounds. Yes. Yeah. So, how close have you ever got to him?
maybe 5 foot, maybe 5 feet away.
Tell me about that.
So I went walking one day with I was by myself. Yes, I think I was by myself, and I heard a whistle coming from the other side of the pond. They were trying to get my attention. They were trying to show me something, and then here comes Storm coming out of the brush, big and strong, and starting to act all tough. And then he looked in my eyes, and I looked in his, and then he calmed down.
Wow. So when he was coming out, was he breaking limbs, or you
Yeah,
think he?
breaking limbs and growling and showing off. I'm like, I know what you are. You don't scare me. I'm only scared of clowns, but I ain't scared of no person or no Bigfoot.
Wow. And so they have family structures. What's the most amazing thing that you learned about them?
Is that they can mind speak and they like eating deer.
How do you think they take down their deer?
They wait for them and like maybe the corn or like the brush, and then they wait for them and then they eat them. I mean,
Wow.
they I don't know if they have hunting tools like we do, but I know that they use baskets for picking up the meat and stuff.
Baskets of it. Like, can they weave their baskets, or is it something they took from
Yeah,
people's homes?
they do weave them. I heard other people talking about them because some of them are native Bigfoots and then some of them are not. Mine are just regular. They're just regular.
What now? What would you say the difference between a native Bigfoot and a regular Bigfoot is? And I know
The
some.
native they speak in native and they do native things, and the regular Bigfoot don't speak. They try to speaking my tongue. they
You're
try to
fine.
they try to speak native, but they can't because it's hard for them to understand, and it's hard for me to listen to them if they're trying to talk native.
So is that where like the samurai chatter comes from? That you
Yeah.
so those wouldn't be considered the native ones.
Mm-mm.
So when you look at the regular ones and the native ones, and I know this is based on what you've experienced and have been taught over the years. How are they different? Because one can has a wherewithal to weave a basket for the food, and just like we would put berries on, and is the other ones are is that they have not acquired a learned behavior, or
The native ones, they don't. I don't think they adopt in our world really good.
Oh.
I think they're
How,
more, scared.
how do you think they feel when all these subdivisions go up in what they used to call their home?
They're mad. They're
Um,
mad and they're upset, and they're not happy about like other people building on their land. I know that for sure.
is that why you think that they've been pushed in the national forest now?
Yeah.
And it's the only place they had to go sometime.
Yep.
Do you think a full grown Bigfoot can take an alligator?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm just thinking an alligator would be good eating. Have you ever
Yeah.
had fried alligator?
Oh yeah,
Good.
we have a crawfish thing every year. Um, my brother's friend, he's from Louisiana and he hunts alligator, and he sent us a big size one. It was 2 years ago, but we do have like a crawdad. We have corn,
Yeah.
we have pig, we have big
Sausage,
alligator. It's
shrimp,
good.
yeah, and potatoes,
Mhm.
the little Cajun mix.
Yeah.
Girl, you're making me hungry. Stop.
I'm hungry now too.
Well, I always wondered that because we have alligators where I come from, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that it could take a decent sized alligator. I mean, it's just nothing but muscle and meat.
Yeah. I have an uncle, he's southern and he lives between um Georgia and Kentucky, Georgia and Carolina line. So he tells me um we I think I'm southern because I like southern food. I love anything southern. I don't care what it is, I'll eat it.
You got good taste because I'm tell you what, we get collards and some black eyed peas with some onions cut up. And when I make my
That sounds
cornbread,
so good.
look, when I make my cornbread, I make it thin with some onions cut up in it. And I don't burn it. It's good. But what do you think their diet, other than deer, what do you think their diet mostly consists of?
Fish and turtle.
Fish and turtle? That they crack the shell off the turtle?
Mhm.
That's interesting because I've seen a few turtle shells out in the middle of the woods, and I mean, of course, turtles can go across land, but it's just kind of been weird. So normally during an interview, I let someone pay tribute to someone. Do you know someone you would like to pay tribute to?
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith? Well, I tell you what, I'm going to give you the screen. Is there anything else you want to say about Bigfoot?
That no matter, don't be scared of them, and if they come up to you, just act normal and don't run away. Do not run away.
I'm going to give you the screen, and I want you to pay your tribute to Toby Keith. And when you finish, don't hang up, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. I just want to pay tribute to Toby Keith and my grandpa that has died since I was 5. And darn it, I loved your songs, Toby Keith, and Red Solo Cup. I feel you. Let's have a party. Grandpa, may you live on, and thank you for saving our country back then. And Mama misses you, and I miss you every day. Love you.